was proper. Which then leads us on to the most disturbing part of the whole performance. I find it hard to do justice in words. The sight of the trombonist literally pissing spit out the end of his instrument.
Okay.
I really do hope that it was collected saliva, because I don't know what other body fluid it could have been, but it just seemed to gush. Hey, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Audiophiles, Governor. My name's John. His name is Andy.
It is.
I'm enlisting overseas aid. Need assisting. Help with a maid. Get the expert on mademoiselles. He could defuse any bombshell. More on that later. But first, we have a track to listen to. Andy, what have you got?
Well, I'm bringing an artist that I know you're familiar with, and they feature in this song another artist I'm not sure if you have. So the artist that you are familiar with is one Mr. Ben Folds. So I know you're familiar with Ben Folds 5, probably maybe even some of his solo stuff, if I'm not mistaken. But I don't think you're familiar with this track, and it features on it a lovely young lady, Regina Spektor is her name. Does that name ring any bells with you?
Yes. So, yeah, I know Ben Folds 5. I have some Ben Folds solo stuff. Rock in the Suburbs is the one that springs to mind the most.
Of course, right?
Obviously. I think Annie Waits is one of his best ever songs. I really it's a great song. Regina Spektor, I know the name. I really know the name. I couldn't tell you a song she's done, but I just know the name.
Fair. Well, this is a live performance from Conan O'Brien show. So please give this a go and a watch and take it all in and let me know what you've made of it.
Will do.
All right, folks, 13 years ago, my next guest made his first appearance on our show. It's always a thrill to welcome him back. Tonight, he's joined by special guest Regina Spektor on a song from his brand new album, Way to Normal. Please welcome Ben Folds.
I wanna ask you, do you ever sit and wonder it's so strange that we could be together for so long?
Okay, that's really nice start. I never know what to quite make of Conan. I haven't really seen enough of him, so I'm undecided. But anyway, so yeah, it starts off immediately. It's bouncy. It's kind of a little bit quirky. Really nice sound with both the strings and the sort of brass section there. Give this sort of a little motif. It kind of almost feels like, I don't mean this in an insulting way, it could be like a sitcom sort of theme tune, but jazzed up a bit. It's clearly not that. But it's got almost that feel to it, that sort of bounciness. Really nice. I noticed he was delivering, it's that classic sort of pianist where it's like hard on the 1, 2, the beat, and then sort of trickling on. What did he say? He said, do you ever sit and wonder? So strange that we're all together, something like that. And it was at it's quite a, I don't know why, but it seems to be like a pianist thing. Let's listen to that again. But yeah, she's vocalizing as well. All good.
I wanna ask you, do you ever sit and wonder it's so strange that we could be together for so long and never know, never care what goes on in the other one's head? Things I felt but I never said. You felt things that I never said, so I'll say something that I should have said long ago.
You don't know me.
You don't know me at all.
You don't know me.
You don't know me at all.
I like the whisper.
You could have just brought me up on the table like a mannequin, or a cardboard stand-up and paid me anything that you wanted me to be. See where.
So it just occurred to me there, the way she's, it was like a couple of single words, that first bit before the chorus, and now it's come back in and she's doing a couple more words. But it's kind of almost like a classic sort of hip-hop hype man, that call and response, or just like, backing up what the main guy's saying. But this is obviously a very twee, nerdy version of that. But it sounds great. It really does.
Stand by the existential moment that we saw the couple in the coma, and it was we who were the cliche, but we carried on anyway. So sure, I could just close my eyes. Yeah, sure, trace and memorize, but can you go back once you know?
You don't know me.
You don't know me at all.
You don't know me.
You don't know me at all.
You don't know me.
You don't know me at all.
You don't know me.
You don't know me. If I'm the person that you think I am.
Hello?
Clueless chump you seem to think I am. So easily led astray. An errant dog who occasionally escapes and needs a shorter leash. Then why the heck would you want me back? Maybe it's because
You don't know me at all.
Just a couple of points there I noticed. So when he went sort of quite rhythmic and with that bounce, and you got this sort of rhythmic, and he was punching through, it was like 8 beats, so it was just like one syllable at a time, which is quite pleasing. I think it was a bridgy part, I think it was a bit weird, but luckily I was distracted by some marching drummer sort of wanders in and just takes his place bizarrely. It's not, you couldn't really hear it that way, just hear a bit of the snare. But yeah, really odd how he just walks in halfway through the song. We've got a perfectly fine drummer sitting down there anyway. But yeah, just really interesting.
You don't know me. You don't know me.
so what I'm trying to say is
What?
I'm trying to tell you is not gonna come out like I wanna say it, cause I know you'll only change it.
Say it. You don't know me.
You don't know me at all.
You don't know me.
You don't know me at all.
You don't know me.
Whoa, 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 what the Shut the front door. Just seeing the trombone, it looked like, and you see them empty out, split, but it was like pissing out. It makes me wonder what bodily fluid he had in there. I really hope it is saliva. Let's just see that again, because that was bizarre. I've never seen it come out with such force. Jetting out.
Don't know me.
Don't know me at all.
Don't know me.
Don't know me at all. What?
What? Yeah, you wipe your lips. Yeah.
Always a pleasure. Ben Folds, Regina Spektor. We'll take a break. We'll be right back.
Okay, fair enough, Conan. Yeah, trombone chicanery aside, he was still having problems with it at the end. So how much spit did I put into this? And it was weird, like the snare drummer sort of stopped for quite a long time, just like cross sticks, didn't do anything, and then came in for about 20 seconds at the end. I don't know, somebody owes him some money. I don't know why he was joined in, but overall, really good, fun live performance. Really bouncy, catchy song. I wouldn't put it up there at the top of his songs, but it's a very pleasant experience. So yeah, I really enjoyed this. It was good to see him perform. And Regina, I know her, and I don't know why I know her. I can't think of any of the songs that she's done, but I definitely know the name. So it was nice to see her as well. So I don't think I've seen her perform before either. So that was cool. Yeah, really enjoyed this. So don't know why I don't know this. Don't know what sort of period this is in his solo career. But I know a man who does know all this. So let's get back and chop it up with Andy.
All right, so you are back from the Late Show with Conan O'Brien there. What did you make of it, John? This Ben Folds and Regina Spektor track.
Yeah, after the effusive introduction from Conan, I'm still not sure. I'm unsure what to make of him. Well, the very little I've seen of him, I don't instantly warm to him, but I'm not, repulsed by him either. So I'm just not sure what to make of Conan. But then again, it's not really going to affect my life. So there you go. Anyway, after his introduction, joined Ben and the gang, and I am reminded it's a long time since I've seen Ben Fold play, live or a video of him playing,
Yeah.
So that was like, oh yeah, he's older than he was before. Fair enough, that happens. From the very first second, everybody is either bouncing or head nodding, and it's that kind of song he does so well. And it makes me remember when Ben Folds 5 sort of hit the airwaves, with Underground, Hand Me My Nose Ring. I've always loved that sort of mixture of indie and pop and sort of nerdery that he and the band brought. And I have that image of the band sort of rocking out a track and then in between songs reaching for various inhalers and stuff and then carrying on. That's the kind of like mixture of nerdy and sort of rocky that they have. And this doesn't dispel any of that, So we have Bouncing Ben, Miss Regina and the boys. And we have strings and brass, which is really nice. And these two elements add some lovely sort of sweeping motifs. So you have that bouncing piano, dun, 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 and then it's really nice bits and for quite a short intro, along with a little bit of vocalizing from Regina. So Ben starts singing, first verse. And he's got that classic, and he's done it before, and lots of other pianists have done it before, but it's quite specific to singer/pianists' deliveries. And it's something I've noticed that a lot of them do. So they're leaning very heavy. If you take 4 beats in a bar, they're leaning really heavy on the first 2 beats with monosyllabic utterances. And then it's skippity doo for the next 2 beats with a basket full of words. So he's going, do you ever sit and wonder? It's so strange that we could be together for so long, etc., etc. And it's really nice because it really emphasized the rhythmic nature. Because at its heart, although it is a stringed instrument, it's also a percussive instrument, the piano. It's little hammers going away. And it adds to all that as well. So you have this lovely sort of, in comes Regina, and she's like underscoring the last words of a couple of lines. And all of this has a very pleasant sort of choppy nature to it, this motion. And the strings, and particularly the brass popping, adds all these short punctuating riffs, which are very much echoing the vocal delivery and adding to that whole mix. It becomes very pleasing. And then with a sliding note from the strings, in comes the chorus. sung in turn by Regina and Ben. You don't know me. You don't know me at all. You don't know me. You don't know me at all. And she was all whisper, semi-whisper, a loud whisper, that last bit, which is quite funny and endearing. Next verse, as Ben is often, and no case here, quite the wordsmith, there's a lot to take in, too much to take in terms of lyrics. But Regina expands her contribution to now 2 words and lines. And at that point, it just made me reminiscent of like some of the best, hip hop hype men. And I won't name any names, but they come in either call and response or emphasizing or bolstering. And this is like the nerdy version of that. It's great, and it made me smile.
It's like
and then she actually does expand. Exactly. Yeah, the best. And then she does expand into a line where her beautiful voice actually sings brightly, and it just, again, the contrast from what she's been given so far makes it even more beautiful. And then he's singing away, and there's a verbal cue on the word damned, where the music drops into a rhythmic section. And I've got something, there's some clever lyrics here, as you'd expect from Mr. Foles, but I've got something about existential moments and couple in a coma. And surprisingly, at this point, we then get some sort of backing vocals from the bass player. And I thought he was only good for chewing gum. But no, he sings as well. Well, kind of. We also get this then pronounced pre-chorus section where it gets really super rhythmic, and Ben actually does the 1 syllable per beat for like 8 punches. But can you go, next bar, back once you know? And it's really sort of punched, and it's very pleasing. Chorus goes in again with the whispered at all, goes round, and it starts to go around a second time, but instead then we go into a sort of bridge. And just as I'm thinking, oh God, a bridge, in comes the arrival of the herald's arrival of a marching snare drummer, who wanders in like with all the effrontery of a politician at a photo opportunity, and then plumps himself down in the middle. The absolute nerve of some people. And you can barely hear the snare drum. It's just really low in the mix. It's just there because you're listening for it. You wouldn't pick it out of the crowd. But all this distracts me from, thankfully, the bridge, but also for some very nice vocalizing from Regina. And it is live, so I know, to be fair, she was kind of reaching for that first line, but she had a quick bounce down and up again, and she nailed the rest, so that's all good. I knew there's a reason why they kept doing that. So then we focus in on Ben singing, and he says something along the lines of, why the heck would you want me back? And the way it's done is so obvious that he's had to change the words. A substitution has been made. It's really obvious. All the nice people at home don't get a dirty word, and it's so funny. And there's almost a little twinkle in his eyes. He's saying it, what the heck? Because there's no fucking way you would say the word heck in his lyrics normally. But it's so funny that he's, gone for heck rather than hell or whatever. It's just really funny.
Well,
so yeah,
spoiler alert, it's fuck. And he
of course.
So it's so funny that you noticed that, because when I was watching the video to pick it, I was like laughing at him being.
It stands out like a sore thumb. Yeah, it really stands out. And all the nice people are going, oh, is he a nice Christian boy? He didn't swear. Fuck those people. Anyway, we reach the chorus pinnacle, which then begins with some charming little sort of, it drops down, and again there's these piano twinkles and group R's. In the snare drum, drummer just sits there listening with cross sticks. He does very little after that initial burst. He does like 20 seconds at the end, but the rest of the time he's just sat there like that. As Regina starts emphasizing the title line, the strings start to swell, and then in rushes the band, but it's only temporary. We've got a lot of light and shade here, so we go then back to almost spoken, shouty exchange between the singers, which again is kind of that sort of, it's almost along the lines of a variety show, when people are sitting around having their veal, and it's that kind of feeling of the dialogue between them, like a little, not Vegas, but something, lower down, a smaller place, Reno. I don't know. Anyway, and then when she turns around and goes something about, and what you say, I don't know what, and she turns around and barks at him, what? And clearly she did it a bit more forcefully than it was meant to, because you see him trying not to laugh because
Yeah.
she's not done it that way before, clearly, and she's delighted that she's almost made him laugh. And then she goes back to say it to him like this, and again it's this sort of bounce, and then they come back with the chorus proper, which then leads us on to the most disturbing part of the whole performance. I find it hard to do justice in words. The sight of the trombonist literally pissing spit out the end of his instrument.
Okay.
I really do hope that it was collected saliva, because I don't know what other body fluid it could have been, but it just seemed to gush. I've never seen anything like it in my life. I've seen people emptying out spit out of of wind instruments before, but I've never seen it like erupt.
Yeah.
Yeah, that should have. I mean, if they're going to censor the word "fuck," they should have censored the trombonist as well. Anyway, the OG drummer now becomes more agitated, and he's giving it all that. Well, Mr. Crosssticks might as well be a wax dummy for all the hits he's adding to the sound. Then we get a group what. And just after that, there's a very sinister close-up of Mr. Bodily Fluids wiping his mouth. For some reason, I'm getting the words Jeffrey Dahmer coming to mind. Yeah, very sinister. We get more vocalizing from Regina, which gets a seal approval from Ben, where he does that sort of arse in the air bounce action off his seat, which is always great, and it's always makes me think of like Little Richard or something.
Yeah.
But he sits down for the very last bit, and it ends with a squeal of delight from the studio audience. And even at that point, Mr. Trombone Man is still arsing around with his mouthpiece. So yeah, great performance, full of fun, full of bounce, full of spit. Um, really catchy song. I wouldn't put it in his top like 5 or 10 songs, but it's still nothing. I'm a big fan of Ben Folds, so a decent song by him is a very decent song,
Yeah.
and this is
Yeah.
what this was. I thought it was great to finally see Regina Spektor, because I do know the name, but I can't say if I've definitely heard any of her stuff. So it's nice to see her perform as well. So yeah, all winner chicken dinner as far as I'm concerned.
Awesome.
Really
I'm really
liked it.
glad you liked it. Let's just discuss the elephant in the room, which is the trombonist. So you
Left a piss in the room, more like Jesus.
So Conan O'Brien was a writer on Saturday Night Live for a very long time, and that his show was filmed in the same studio. It's NBC. He still always has had a really good relationship throughout the years with Saturday Night Live and its revolving cast members. The trombonist was never playing. It was a bit comedy element of the overall live performance, as Ben Fold kind of does. He kind of brings in comedy and other stuff to his music, so it's not just so black and white. So that was an actor who was on SNL at the time, Jason Sudeikis, and he's back there being like kind of
It
like
was Jason
yeah,
Sudeikis.
yeah, it was Jason Sudeikis the whole time.
Really?
Yeah, so he's back there like being
It
very
didn't look like him.
yeah, yeah. It's it.
Jason Sudeikis, Ted Lasso, of course.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
So
didn't recognize him.
kind of dicking around back there, which is distracting at first, and I realized who it was. And then when the spit came out, I fucking lost it. So I'm like, this is just, you're getting a lot of bang for your entertainment buck here, because you're getting a good song, you're getting a collaboration with Regina Spektor, you're getting the live full band. Oh, and you're also getting a comedy shown from, Jason Sudeikis back there dicking around with his
So again,
spit pedal.
Ted Lasso spitting out God knows what. Yeah.
And he's looking over at the person next to him, like, that was crazy. Did you see that shit? Like, sorry if it got on you, which is so gross when you think about it. But yeah. So anyway, I'm glad you liked the performance. It was it makes me laugh, and it's also a really good song. So I'm
Yeah.
glad you enjoyed it. So, yeah, Ben Folds, I'll touch on him a little bit. I'll touch on Regina a little bit, and then I'll just get into the song. Ben Folds is an American singer-songwriter from Winston-Salem, North Carolina. After playing in several small independent bands throughout the late 80s and into the early 90s, Folds came to prominence as the frontman and pianist for the alternative rock trio Ben Folds 5 from 1993 until the year 2000, and then again during their reunion, which was 2011 to 2013. Um, in his youth, Folds used to listen to Elton John and Billy Joel on the AM radio and then learn to play their music by ear on piano. During his years at Richard J. Reynolds High School in Winston-Salem, Folds played in several bands as the pianist, bassist, and drummer. Folds attended the University of Miami's Frost School of Music on a full percussion scholarship, but dropped out after having failed the jury and losing a scholarship, which I think is probably some rigorous live, demonstration that you have to do in front of, faculty or members of the school or whatever. And I'm sure he got wasted the night before. I'm pretty sure that's the story I remember. He was a bit of a hellion in his early days, and he took advantage of that scholarship to a really good music school. Go ahead, John.
So after college, let me guess, did he grow a mustache and get a job at Chick-fil-A?
Yeah, yes, exactly. Citing artistic differences, I think his band broke up in May or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that checks out.
And reformed again in June, I think, without him. Yeah.
Exactly. It's such a great
I
song.
love that song.
So yeah, he devoted a lot of time to working on his piano technique. According to him, I spent maybe 6 months just running scales with a metronome like a freak, Fold said. I suppose that did something. After leaving Miami, he returned to North Carolina and enrolled at the University of North Carolina at Greensboro for the fall semester of '85. It was while studying at UNCG that he met his accidental mentor, as he refers to him, Robert Darnell. Folds would acknowledge the impact of Darnell on his appreciation of music in his 2019 memoir, A Dream About Lightning Bugs. From 1994 to 2000, Folds formed and performed in the aforementioned Ben Folds 5, who would go on to achieve a modest amount of success, particularly here in the States as well as in the UK and Australia. During this span, the band released 2 full-length albums as well as a compilation album. After the band broke up, Folds would go on to have continued success as a solo artist, where he would release several albums. Folds has also collaborated with musicians such as Weird Al Yankovic and Y Music, and has undertaken experimental songwriting projects with actor William Shatner. I know you're very familiar with that project, and authors such as Nicky Hornby and Neil Gaiman. He's also collaborated. Yeah, exactly. I thought that might light up your eyes for a second. He also collaborated with Regina Spektor, a Russian-born American singer-songwriter and pianist, on a few projects, such as on this track we listened to today, "You Don't Know Me," off of Fold's 2008 album Way to Normal. Now a little bit about Miss Spektor before we get into the track and the album proper. After releasing her first 3 records and gaining popularity in New York City's independent music scenes, particularly in the anti-folk scene centered in the East Village, Spektor signed with Sire Records in 2004, resulting in a greater mainstream recognition. After giving her 3rd album, Soviet Kish, a major label re-release, Sire released Spektor's 4th album, Begin to Hope, which achieved a gold certification by the RIAA. Her following 2 albums, Far and What We Saw from the Cheap Seats, each debuted at number 3 on the Billboard 200. In 2016, she would release Remember Us to Life, and in 2022, Home Before and After. She has been nominated for and won several arts-based awards during her time as a recording artist, and is also very involved with philanthropic works and political activism. In 2008, Folds called Regina Spektor and asked her to be to be featured in You Don't Know Me. In an interview with Rolling Stone, he explained, "I just called her up and we went up and did it. I had a part I wanted her to sing, but she added a lot. There's stuff that just came out of her mouth that wasn't the plan, which is great. That's kind of what I wanted. The song chords were so simple. There wasn't much room for that. but she's one of those talented people. When she works, it's scary good. She's just all talent. Featured musicians on this track include obviously Ben Folds on piano and vocals, Regina Spektor on vocals, Jared Reynolds on electric bass guitar and backing vocals, and Dennis Herring on drums. I think the added strings and the brass instruments were for the live performance only. Drowned in Sound and Pop Matters both scored the album an 8 out of 10. Music OMH gave it a 4 out of 5-star rating. Entertainment Weekly graded it a B+, while Paste Magazine awarded it an 8.9 out of 10. Meanwhile, our beloved and usually pretentious Pitchfork could only find it in themselves to score the album. Yeah, thank you, John. Much deserved, especially in this case. Only found it within themselves to score the album a paltry 2.7 out of 10. So you have all these other B and A ratings, and then along comes, the assholes over at Pitchfork and gives it a 27% on their scale. So if that's not an endorsement, I don't know what is, right? The album charted at number 8 in the United States, and as you would say, the dizzying heights of number 70 over in your neck of the woods there in the UK. In an article by over at NPR, Alton Woodward would write of this track. As cathartic piano prodigies, both Ben Folds and Regina Spektor know how to make listeners laugh and weep at the same time. So it should come as no surprise that they discover one another and meet on common ground in the raw and personal "You Don't Know Me." Fold's cynicism and Spektor's unearthly sweetness make for a perfectly balanced, bitterly endearing requiem about finally giving up. In spite of the dueling vocals, the song presents just the masculine perspective of the failed relationship, defined especially by the lines, "If I'm the person that you think I am, clueless chump you seem to think I am." The highly structured, quick-tempo piano melody also seems to belong purely to Folds. Nevertheless, there's a tinge of welcome femininity to his typical angry, dumped guy rant. Spektor's cascading vocals add crucial layers to the turmoil. She's the second fiddle that nonetheless completes the equation. It's enough to prompt questions about the true nature of compatibility, because these two seem to know each other better than their song declares. So, let's jump into these lyrics. I want to ask you, do you ever sit and wonder it's so strange that we could be together for so long and never know, never care what goes on in the other one's head? Things I felt but I've never said. You said things that I never said. So I'll say something that I should have said long ago. You don't know me at all. You don't know me. You don't know me at all. At all. You could have just popped me up on the table like a mannequin or a cardboard stand-up and paint me, any face that you wanted me to be seen. We're damned by the existential moment where we saw the couple in the coma, and that was we were, and it was we were the cliche, but we carried on anyway. So sure, I could just close my eyes. Yeah, sure, trace and memorize. But can you go back once you know? You don't know me at all. You don't know me. You don't know me at all. At all. You don't know me at all. You don't know me. You don't know me at all. At all. If I'm the person that you think I am, clueless chump you seem to think I am, so easily led astray, an errant dog who occasionally escapes and needs a shorter leash, then why the fuck would you want me back? Maybe it's because you don't know me. You don't know me. So what I'm trying to say is what? I'm telling you, what I'm trying to tell you, it's not going to come out like I want to say it because I know you only change it. Say it. You don't know me at all. You don't know me. You don't know me at all. At all. You don't know me at all. You don't know me. You don't know me at all. At all. In a 2012 article penned by John Negroni entitled "The Top 10 Ben Folds Songs he wrote this of his number 3 ranked song, You Don't Know Me. One of the standouts from Way to Normal. This one is a sad song brilliantly disguised as happy thanks to its unbelievably catchy tune. The song focuses on a couple that don't understand each other at all and ultimately resent each other. Why the fuck would you want me back? Maybe it's because you don't know me at all. On June 11th of 2019, then Mayor Bill de Blasio proclaimed it to be Regina Spektor Day in New York City. The same year, Folds was was named artistic advisor to the National Symphony Orchestra at the Kennedy Center in Washington D.C., where he served until 2025. On July 4th, 2025, Folds released a brand new album recorded live at the sold out concert hall of the John F. Kennedy Center for the Performing Arts in Washington, D.C. The album Ben Folds Live with the National Symphony Orchestra features both Ben Folds classics and new music in collaboration with the National Symphony Orchestra, conducted by Stephen Renicky. Regina Spektor and Tall Heights appear as guests, and a choir of sorts is made up of Doug Peck, Nicholas Kasoy, and Mark Silvey. The album was recorded on October 25th and 26th of 2024, ahead of Folds' resignation from his post as the first ever artistic advisor of the National Symphony Orchestra. His resignation followed a political takeover of the Kennedy Center's leadership by the Trump administration. So, I love this.
I was just going to say, I thought that there was some sort of political shenanigans going on with it. I don't know much about the Kennedy Center, but I do know it's been taken over.
Yes,
What
yes.
the?
And he even wants to name it after his fucking wife. But what I
Which
really
one?
wanted, which one exactly? The last one he cheated on. So what I really love about this, and the reason I chose it, is because one, he's I love free speech. I love being an American. I love that being one of our tenets, the pillars of our society. And to pick a song that was performed on an American late night television show by someone who clearly left his post because of the change in administration and I'm sure knowing what was going to come to a place like the Kennedy Center that he got out and because of this individual, all of it is just the perfect storm. You know what I mean? If you know what's happening in American news of late, with late night television and the First Amendment, and now this, not to get on a soapbox, but this, I just wanted to bring this and put it all together. So yes, we have a taste of American late night and Ben Folds performing on it. So yeah, there you have it, John. This is
Yeah. I think that pianist stroke singers, songwriters are maybe seen as a bit sort of retro 1970s. There is a lot of the Billy Joels about him. I've always
Yes.
thought that. I didn't know that he studied him, but that makes sense. I think if you are an aspiring pianist, who else would you look at than like probably Elton John and Little Richard? You know, that's all you need to do, really.
Yeah. And two of those three were
Billy
literally
Joel.
who he came up trying to emulate. So yeah, you're spot on with that assessment.
Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But I think he's a bit underappreciated, Ben Folds. I really do.
Yeah. I couldn't agree with you more. I think a bit is even being modest about it. I mean, this guy's clearly like, I don't throw this word around a lot, but I mean, he's as close to genius as you can be without being one if he isn't, because like his songwriting and his way with words and his command of, as I've noted, not just the piano. I mean, he probably could have got a scholarship on at least 3 different instruments, and it was actually the drums that got him into Miami, not even the piano. He then would go, oh, this is where the drums got me. I've got a sour taste in my mouth. I'm going to go master the goddamn piano, and look what he did. And the other thing that's great about him and his personality, I think, is that as much as someone like Billy Joel and even to some extent an Elton John can take themselves too seriously at times, there's nobody who takes themselves less seriously than Ben Folds does. He's constantly taking the piss out of himself and his background and where he comes, middle class white guy. You know what I mean? He knows that there's no flair to him. So I love that he's very self aware in that regard, which makes him that much more charming and endearing in my opinion. So Yeah, man. Thanks for giving this one a spin, John. I'm glad you liked it.
Yeah, my pleasure, totally.
Absolutely. Great. Well, guys out there in the listening audience, if you're still tuned in at this point, please let us know what your thoughts are on Ben Folds. If there's anything else by then that we should check out that if we haven't yet, please feel free to drop it down in the comments field below, though there's probably very few of those songs available to us. Also, if you haven't done so, please like, share, and subscribe if you haven't done so. Really goes a long way to help us here at the channel. It only costs you a couple clicks and seconds. So thank you in advance for any and all of that. And hopefully John and I will catch all y'all in growing numbers on the next installment of the Audiophiles. We'll see you later, guys.